you have other people that can help you. So definitely look into that as well. What else do we have? You were talking about earlier, like there's people who are way bigger than you on Twitter. How do we go after those people?
Okay, so I mean, I could just use you as an example. if
I'm
that,
not big. What are you talking about?
well, your ratio states that you're not going to follow me back just because I follow you, too.
Yes.
So, like,
I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter. I don't, but I seem to have a decent number, growing number of followers on Twitter. So tell me how you get somebody like me to follow you back, which you did, by the way. Like I had no idea who you were, and then you like you roped me in. So how would I do that to somebody even larger than me?
So basically, you would. It's a little bit of psychology. It's a little bit of just common sense. So like you go to their Twitter page, you check out what they're posting about, what they're retweeting, the things that they think are funny, because that's usually what Twitter is used for. Is like, if I think this is funny, I'm going to retweet it, and that's typically how most streamers use Twitter that I've seen. So like you go to someone's page like that, you see what kind of gifs they're posting, you see what kind of engagement they have with their followers and stuff like that. So what I always try to do is I always try to engage them the way that it looks like they want to be engaged. So for example, like with me, if somebody makes a meme out of me, like I make so many memes of other people, like I immediately love you. Like I don't even care.
Fair enough.
This is amazing. Follow. Like, I mean, I usually follow people back anyway, but that's not the point.
But it builds that connection. So for instance, like you made me the Valentine's card, which is awesome. And that's a huge way, by the way. A few smaller streamers, a few smaller people on Twitter have caught my attention by making me something. Knowing that they went out of their way, besides just tweeting at me like, hey, Ashley, or whatever, or sending me a personal message, knowing they went out of their way to make something, even if it's shitty, is really awesome, by the way. It catches your attention. It gets you like engaged with them. I'm sure you guys have seen on Twitter, if you are on Twitter regularly, the number of retweets that larger streamers do of artwork done of their stream. And that's one of the huge ways I've seen that gets their attention as well. And it can really build a relationship there that you didn't have before. So speaking of retweets, how important are retweets? Like, they mean the world to me, but what do you think, like, with retweets?
Retweets are great because it not only lets you, it basically gives your tweet a whole new, fresh, like, set of people to see it. So it's like you've tweeted once again. Like, every single retweet you get, especially if it's happening at different times, because there might be overlap of followers on multiple people's accounts. Like, so, like, if you retweet something of mine, all of your fans will be able to see it, but some of those fans are already following me.
Right, exactly. So like, and I understand what you mean by different times too. Like, so like, if you just tweet something and you get like 5 retweets on it, it's great. But that's all like spanned in like one little short segment. Whereas if it's like an hour or two later and somebody big retweets it, all of a sudden it's a whole new fresh exposure of it. Besides just to their followers, it's also just to like people who have overlap. It's like reiterating like, boom, this is important.
Exactly.
So how do we get more retweets though? Like, how do you get people to go, like, besides begging for it, which you know you don't want to do. You don't want to be like, retweet this or your uncle's going to die. Right. How do we get more retweets?
So that goes back to the whole engagement thing. If you are engaging people, if people remember your name, if people like you just from your Twitter appearance or your Twitch and stuff like that, they're going to retweet because of who you are and how much they like you. And that's what I've noticed on, a lot of the stuff that I tweet out that, gets retweeted. My biggest one this month was a Bob Ross Valentine's Day card. It got retweeted 7 times, but it was the Twitch Creates channel. It was like a few other huge people that retweeted it, and it's because they have a connection to me based on the time that I've spent talking with them, or like the fact that I go in and I'll like their stuff. I'll retweet some of their stuff if I like it. It's more about building friendships and less about networking. There's air quotes around that, but
I saw them. I saw the air quotes.
okay.
So definitely, yeah, I understand exactly. Like the more I talk to you about Twitter, the more I understand that it's about individual relationships at a distance. Basically, like it's building those relationships, but still keeping your distance from them as much as you can, because you're going to be, no one can feasibly have a personal relationship with 5,000 people. But it's trying to build what appears to be a personal relationship with 5,000 people, or 10,000, or 20,000, or if you're Robert Downey Jr., millions.
Right.
So it's kind of about like, I am connecting with you, and you should feel like that. But really, it's just building those small relationships at the start and kind of getting engagement from everybody. So whether that's just them clicking the like button or even replying, which is what we're going on to next. Is how, like, what's the importance of replies? Because to be honest with you, like when I'm looking at Twitch analytics, I see a lot of things about engagement. And at first that didn't mean much to me until I realized this is the one thing we're looking for. We're not looking so much for exposure. Exposure is nice, but if no one's actually engaged with you or with your tweets at all, it means nothing. If no one's liking it, no one's retweeting it, all they're doing is seeing it and skipping over it like another ad. And that's not what we want. So what are we looking for with replies?
So replies are useful for all things. Like if somebody retweets something that you've done, you can go the extra step and you can thank them with a reply on the retweet of your own tweet. Just saying thank you for this, because they're showing their support for you. And it's like the small things that really set in people's minds that like, oh wow, like this person really cares that I just did this. Like, I just clicked a button on the internet. It's no big deal to me. I mean, some people it is a big deal, but getting that reply back, it does really mean a whole lot. And replying back to all the tweets that are at you specifically is definitely key. Like, there's a lot of big streamers that like they'll sit on Twitter for like an hour, and I'll see them just reply to every single message.
That's one of the things I'm trying to work on, honestly. Like as a streamer, I'm trying to keep that engagement on Twitter and make it a place where it's our community outside of Twitch, like outside of it, and basically replying and that sort of thing, and not just having people like tweet at me and just having it a one-way communication. Make it two ways, and make it and replies are public two ways. Everyone else sees that you are replying as well, so they know that you are engaging with your viewers, which can honestly bring you more loyal followers. So replies are good, Kay. Replies are good. Keep that in mind.
Do it.
Fucking do it. And that brings us to the other thing is don't just don't just reply with the same message every time. And don't just tweet the same message every time. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Literally make new things up, like do new things, do different stuff. Don't tweet about, you gave me an example before we were talking about the stream. Don't tweet about your fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich you had to eat. Don't tweet about it. Now, however, if you're eating said peanut butter jelly sandwich and it falls in your fucking lap and you have to delay the stream or literally blew up something and then you threw it at your brother and hit him in the face, that's something to tweet about. That's interesting shit. But keep it fresh. Tell me a little bit what you think is good ways to keep your tweets fresh.
Okay, so there are very few GIFs that I'll reuse again. So like once I use a GIF, I'll just basically throw it away.
So don't even use the same image.
Yeah, like I really don't, unless
Crap.
I'm like really running low.
Crap, I suck at that. Okay. I'm learning from you. So don't even use the same image and not even the same words either.
Yeah, so always try to change it up. Change, like if you find something that works, try reiterating it, but in a different way. Like just make some changes to it, because it's not going to work the same way every single time. Like my best tweet ever had 65 retweets on it. Like I could repost that, but it's not going to do as well because it didn't just happen, or all of these things. There's a lot of like different aspects that go into why I change up everything that I do and why I don't do the same thing. And I want people to know that when they look at my profile, it's pretty much going to be something fresh, something new, something they haven't seen before. And that's what I like to do.
Yeah, so not only changing up your own tweets, but making it different from everyone else's. You know, like some people make good tweets, but people have already seen it before. So make it something new. Some people aren't that creative, but try. At least give it a shot. And if you give it a shot, it will probably happen. So definitely try to keep things fresh. And last but not least, you brought this up right before we started, but no salt. And I didn't really understand what you mean by that until I really started thinking back about tweets I hate. And this is more talking about people who are complaining on Twitch, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Basically, don't complain on Twitch. I mean, that's what it boils down to, right?
Don't complain about shit. Don't get in fights. Don't challenge anyone to like superiority checks. Like it's no one wants to see it. No one cares, and most importantly, you'll probably get a shitload of unfollowers based on that.
Yes. And we have an entire section about this later about Twitch as well, about how basically you don't want to bring that salt towards your viewers or things like that either. And the same thing goes with Twitter. So guys, I hope this section helped. Gage, you are fucking amazing about Twitter. I hope this section helped you with your at least Twitter side of things, your social media stuff. Gage, guys, can we drop some amazing hearts in chat for Gage and showing up today and talking about all of his knowledge about Twitter. And I hope that helps you guys with your tweets about not only your stream, but just growing your community on Twitter in general, which can help you grow on Twitch as well. What we're going to do right now